from Zoom, and from LinkedIn. So if you are chatting on those, and hopefully YouTube in a second, if you are chatting, if you give feedback and you have questions and comments, they can get that to me. So
we are up on YouTube.
Great. We're up on YouTube. So if you have questions or comments, send them to me and I can actually respond to them here live. So we want to have that. So we've got a team here. We've got live going all over the place, but there is something very special. And that is today is my brother's birthday. So happy birthday, little brother. I know that doesn't mean a lot to the rest of you out there watching, but to me, Pete is very important. So I'm very happy and wish him a very happy birthday on this Strata live event. Okay, what are we here for? We are here because we started building something really powerful, which enables you to be your own cloud. Now, what is the purpose of that? Why would you want to be your own cloud? Well, the reason is actually something really powerful, because I think when you think about the cloud, the problem is watching video in the cloud is awesome. It's great. Everything from YouTube to Netflix to, all of your streaming services, or products like Frame.io and Dropbox. This is great. Like when you're watching video, the cloud is really great. But the problem is those products are also best, and the cloud is amazing for YouTube and Instagram and products like that. It's great for watching it, but the cloud is not good for working with video. See, when you're doing video workflows, the cloud is bad because you have this high shooting ratio. And when you have a ton of media in the cloud, I don't know about you, but I can't afford to put it there. See, this is what it boils down to. When I am working with media and I'm shooting these high shooting ratios, my camera files are too big. I use cameras that shoot RAW files, and those RAW files might be 1,000 or 2,000 megabits per second. They're really, really good quality files. So where do we put them? We put them on hard drives. My guess is you put them on hard drives too. I've had a lot of people been emailing me. I did. Yeah, it's not going. It says it's going. Okay. Should I try again? I'll try again. What is really powerful about this situation is if you are able to have all your files on a hard drive, you can store those files there. You can see those files there. You can use those files, but they're really hard to share because they're on a hard drive. So when you're shooting high quality files, you can't put them in the cloud because your camera files are too big. And the internet is, for most of us, too slow. I had a person I was talking to the other day, and they said, the internet's fine. The internet's stable. The internet's great. I was like, how are you going to upload all of this media to the internet? When I shoot, sometimes I shoot a 100-to-1 shooting ratio, right? You're shooting 100 hours of footage for 1 hour footage. Even a 25-to-1 shooting ratio is huge. So this is a big problem for a lot of people because they can't afford to put these high shooting ratios in the cloud. And when it comes to your internet, here's a really powerful statistic. The average internet speed in the United States is 30 megabits per second upload. That's because internet service providers, they favor download. So the upload speeds are throttled, and there's only an average of 30 megabits per second. You might be one of the lucky people that has a gigabit internet, but most of us do not. And in big cities, it's really hard to get high bandwidth. It's really hard to get that. So in big cities, we do a lot of shooting and we can't upload to the cloud because our internet is too slow. And then even if you have good internet, the price of storing it in the cloud is too high. In fact, here's the math. 1 gigabyte in the cloud is 40 times more expensive than 1 gigabyte on a hard drive. 40x. Now, look, I used to be a really big believer in the cloud. I worked for a cloud company called Frame.io. I loved all the cloud technology and all the cloud accessibility. But once I started buying Frame.io after I left and I had to pay for it and I started shooting all this content, I realized that I couldn't afford it. It's too expensive and my internet isn't fast enough. My camera files are too big and my cloud storage was just costing me too much, 40 times So this is a big, big problem. And this is really, really expensive. Now, Hugh asks, what provisions do you have in place to protect from hacking through this connection? That's a great question, Hugh. I'm going to go deeper into that, but I do want to touch on your question right now, which is one, we are always improving security. That's just the nature of all companies and the internet, right? Everybody is always having security improvements. That never stops. So we're always doing that. Today, we are end-to-end encrypted, and we have a peer-to-peer encryption network. And we use 128-bit encryption. So that's one of the things today. We also use OAuth to authorize you into your product. And so that's a very, very common authorization grant. And we're going to be adding two-factor as well. But there's one more thing, Hugh, that's really specific about this. Remember, when you upload files to traditional clouds, you have to make copies. Those copies are always in those clouds. And a lot of people, when they're using clouds, have to upload to Dropbox and Frame.io and LucidLink and Google Drive. And so now they've made multiple copies in different clouds of the same asset. But with Strata, none of the assets are ever in a cloud. They don't go to a cloud. So one of the greatest benefits of being able to control security is there only is one asset, and it's on a hard drive. See, Hugh, it's not about just when you have a cloud, people want to hack into that cloud. But when the files are on a hard drive, it's much harder to get those. And the easiest way to make them unavailable is just to take the drive offline. One button is like an automatic kill switch, where in a cloud, you have to find all those assets and delete them. And they don't really delete. Clouds don't really delete. And so this is really different. In some ways, Strata is way more secure because I have an instant kill switch. I can just unplug a drive and then nobody can access it. So it's really, really cool. Now, James Barker says, what you're describing is backups on backups on backups. I think, I don't know. I have to get some data, James. Are you talking about what I just described in other clouds or in Strata agents? Because, it's sort of like when you're doing backups and backups and backups, you end up having to create a lot of waste. And that's how people have been working forever, right? Like we have realized, oh, if I want to back up, I got to put it in cloud A, cloud B, cloud C. That's actually really wasteful. It uses more energy, it takes up more space, and you have to pay for it 2 or 3 or 4 times. Now, efficiently, when you back up to a RAID or 2 RAIDs at the edge, it's less wasteful and it's a lot more, it's backed up really, really well. So what we're going to show is we're not anti-cloud, and I'm not saying the cloud is all bad. Like I said, the cloud is really good for watching things, especially when it's a final output. And you may want to archive your finals, your hero files in clouds. That's a great place to do it because your final might be 10 minutes or 60 minutes or 2 hours, and that's it. It's the work in progress. And I find that when I'm working with files, I don't know anybody. I know one person, but I only know one person that can afford to put all of their raw files in a cloud. Most people just can't do it. They just can't afford to put the raw files in the cloud. So the raw files are on a hard drive anyway. Why not make that accessible? That's really what we're talking about. So, that's really key. So James says, can editors work directly off proxies? Well, James, that's exactly where this is going. I'm going to show you what Strata does today, and then I'll show you where it's going. And working off proxies is exactly where it's going. But in some cases, there may be techniques that we're going to eliminate the need for proxies as well. So there's really cool things with this tech that we're doing that's really different. So ultimately, I want to remind everyone, Strata Agents is free. All you need is an Apple Silicon computer. We need Apple Silicon today. We will be supporting OBS, just echoing. I don't know. Oh, there's echoing on OBS. Okay. I will kill the audio. I don't know. You have to tell me if that changed something. Always a thing here. So I don't know if that fixes it or not. So one of the things that we're really stressing here is that we have the ability for people to get this for free right now. And Strata Agents is on Apple Silicon, and that Apple Silicon is necessary for us to start this out. Now, we will support, we will be supporting, oh, I lost my train of thought. We will be supporting Windows and Linux soon. That is something we're working on. But today, it starts with Apple Silicon. And if you have Apple Silicon, you can start working with agents today, and it costs nothing. Here's all you have to do. The first thing you do is you go to strata.tech, you download the agent. The agent is a little application, and that little application is going to run in the top of your computer. When you install it, you see right there, you get a little Strata icon. Now Strata is running on your machine, and it allows you to access your local volumes and folders. And anytime you put a checkbox in them, you can share them out. That's how it works. And it runs in the background on your Apple Silicon computer. And then you can transmit any file that's on one of those drives, and it will turn those drives into a cloud. It's really easy. It's literally, I'm not kidding, it's like 2 minutes long. It takes 2 minutes to sign up, install, and become a cloud. And there's really no technology in the world really doing this. And we have people constantly coming to us saying, we can't see any other tech doing this. It's really, really, really neat stuff. Airwick says, will Strata be adapted into audio workflows? Tell me a little bit more about the audio workflows that you're thinking about, Airwick. Like, you know, are you talking about sound mixing, music mixing? Today, Strata Agents supports broadcast wave files, MP3s, and AAC files, and AIFF files. So you can play back raw audio, and I should be able to demonstrate that a little bit later. I'll remember to do that. Leave that in there, Pete. It should be able to do that. So if you have an audio workflow and you want to share mixes without having to upload them, or even sound effects libraries and things like that, you could absolutely do that. Hugh says, Strata Agents reminds me a little bit of BitTorrent. That's exactly right, Hugh. You're right on track. It's a little bit like BitTorrent. It's a little bit like Napster. It's this distributed network. It's really, really powerful. Okay, so after you install the agent, then you can just browse your assets remotely. And I'll show you kind of how that works right now. So I want to start with an initial demo here. This is really cool. Hopefully everybody's getting this. Okay, so what you're going to see right now, this is a little funky. I want to show you this. This is a live YouTube. You can see here, this is YouTube Live. Let me make sure we're at the live part here. I want to make sure this is live. 9:15. So if you see here, this is a webcam looking at YouTube. And I'm looking at a laptop. This is a laptop in Culver City. And you can see on my computer here, it's 9:16. And down here live, it's 9:16. So this is a live demonstration, and it's the best way I can show you. This is not my computer. What you're seeing here is a webcam of a different computer. This is an Apple Silicon M2. This is an M2 machine. Let's look closer at the machine. Here we go. We see here a couple of things. One, we can see there's a red mini mag. So here's an example of a camera card connected directly to a computer. So if you're a DIT or you work with DITs, think about this. A DIT can literally turn the original camera files into clouds. And as soon as they unplug them, they disappear. That is, you know, someone earlier was talking about security and stuff like that. Talk about that. You can share a file, you can watch it, and then you unplug it and it's gone. It's so powerful and so easy. So camera mags are supported. We have here a SanDisk, which is a rebranded G-RAID. This is an 8 terabyte G-RAID. And so if we look up here, we can see there's the G-RAID, there's the camera card, the red camera card. We can also see LucidLink. So LucidLink is a great product. I'm a user. Here I've got my LucidLink right there. And LucidLink is mounted on this silicon as well. So the last thing we can see is this has 11 megabits per second upload internet. That's terrible. 11 megabits is not very good. But what I'm going to show you works with very low bandwidth internet, below average internet. And so that's really important to this story. So this is live. This is happening live. And I'm going to slide this over a little bit. There we go. And now I'm going to switch to Chrome. And we're going to go here. And I'm going to slide this over a little bit. Okay. So now on the left, this is my Strata account. This is my Strata agents. And you can see there's a little sign here that says Strata's MacBook Pro. And now everything here is a representation. These are all the elements that are on this drive, this computer here, right? We have the camera card. We have the desktop. We have this FX3 SD card. I didn't show you that, but there it is. There's the FX3 SD card. And we've got our G-Raid mirror, and we've got the Lucid Link. My Lucid Link workspace is called Strata. So that Strata is actually Lucid Link. So really powerful. So we're seeing all these files right here. Watch what happens. I'm going to click on the G-Raid mirror and watch what happens to the white light here as I start clicking on files. I'm going to start clicking on files, and you can see the drive starts blinking because now I'm literally accessing a file as we are logging into it right now. So this is a totally cool way to be able to start browsing through the entire directory system and seeing everything. I can even see the camera cards here. And you can see the red mag is starting to blink, right? Because I was going through that as I look through this, the red mag starts to blink. See, it's starting to blink because we do that. So this is what's so cool about this whole experience is we're starting to see access to these files. So let me go to an interview here. And when I start playing this back, notice that the drive is going to be blinking as I skip around. So here you can see the drive reacting. This file playing back in Strata, which is remotely accessing, is playing back off of this drive. So I just want to make sure you get it. I'm playing back a file in Strata. I can go full screen, and I am watching a file play back from a drive that is not here. It's off-site. And I can do this across an ocean. I have done this across an ocean. Yesterday, I did it from Australia and London. I did London and Australia yesterday, and I'm just using 10 megabit internet. And the files are on my hard drive. So I didn't pay 1 cent to upload it. I didn't spend 1 second to upload it. Do you see the difference here? We are eliminating upload times, and we are eliminating cloud storage costs. Eliminating. I'm not reducing. I'm not making it more efficient. I'm eliminating upload times and eliminating cloud storage costs, but we still have the ability to browse, which means you can browse more. Because if you don't have to upload it and you don't have to pay to store it, you can share more of it. And we have that kill switch. All I have to do is turn off Strata agents and all these files disappear. So it's super secure because the second you want nothing to be shared, you know, there's a lot of products that say they want to have review links that can have termination dates and you can turn off a review link. Well, the file's still living in a cloud. And if you are super concerned about security, you'd have to delete that file. But when you delete a file from a cloud, it's not really deleted. So the only way to really delete it is Strata. You just unplug the drive and then nobody can get it. They'd have to literally break into your house and steal your drive, which is something that doesn't happen very often. And that's something that, you know, you can't prevent today with the cloud either. So this is so stable, so powerful. Okay, let me get some questions. Airwick says, I'm a composer. We'd love to be able to check and send WAV files as opposed to Dropbox. Airwick, that works today. You can try WAV files. So if I go to a WAV file here, let's see, where do I have some WAV files? I think I thought I had some WAV files. Yeah, I can't remember where my WAV files are. I might not have some WAV files. I thought I did, but now I'm forgetting. So there's one. There's a WAV file. Okay, there it is. So here now you have the access to WAV files, and And yeah, we can play back wave and listen to that. So that's supported. So that's good. Hugh says agents reminds me of BitTorrent. Yep, that's kind of what's happening, but you have the benefit of being able to control access here. James says most of my animators and VFX artists use Windows. Do you have a rough idea of when Windows will be available? If not, I'll wait patiently with soon. Okay, so James, here's the thing: is you can use Chrome to access this, so it doesn't matter what operating system the recipient is. Only today, if you want to serve files, which is the actual agent experience you're seeing here, only here when I'm serving the file do I have to have it on a Mac, and that will change. But I'll tell you what, James, if you sign up and use it and give us feedback, you can help prioritize Windows and Linux. Simply put, people who are users, we listen to them. And so users that tell us they need something get the priority. So I invite you to sign up for free, start using it, and then telling us, what you need us to improve on. So that's really good. Hugh asks, are you still providing the media search AI capabilities? Oh, that's great, Hugh. Okay, so Strata does have a cloud division. It has a cloud version that does do AI analytics with transcriptions and facial recognition and things like that. Today, we are going to end that product and we are moving the AI functionality into agents. Here's why. We learned that people liked our AI analytics. They liked our transcription. They like our facial recognition. They like our search. They liked that, but they wanted it on their hard drives, not in the cloud. That's what every customer told us. They say, I'm analyzing this stuff, but honestly, most of the stuff I need to analyze is not in a cloud. It's actually a problem to have to upload it all to the cloud just to analyze it. That's not good. They want to analyze it at the hard drive level, and that's where this agent's experience came from. So we're listening to our customers who want the files on hard drives. So we will be adding to Strata agents the AI models, and we'll probably start with transcription. So you'll be able to transcribe your files on your drive first. Now think about how cool that is. You have a shoot, you got 10 hours of footage and all these interviews on a hard drive. And with Strata agents, you can just transcribe it right there and then share it right there and no cloud uploading. It's going to be so awesome. We don't have those models in agents yet. Today, agents is a playback only experience, but that's really important. Oliver asks, will you support sequential files download and a share link? Like, for example, a DCP package that can be downloaded with just a web link. Well, Oliver, let me switch to that demonstration. Oliver's asking about some stuff here, and I want to show this particular functionality that Oliver is asking about. So I'm going to skip ahead here to where we're going. So let me first say, Oliver, today, Strata Agents lets you remotely access and play back files. And hopefully you're seeing that. In fact, just to take it to the extreme, let me go here and let me go here. Check this out. These files here, these files here are ProRes XQ. This is about as big as a file can get. This is 1.5 gigabits per second, 1,500 megabits per second. These are huge files. So you can see this take right here is 29 gigabytes. Now, I want everyone watching to think about this. Look at this, 29 gigs, 27 gigs, 36 gigs, 26 gigs, 36 gigs. Okay, I'm going to click on a take that is 36 gigs. Ask yourself, how long would it take for you to upload one take that's 36 gigabytes? How long would that take? For many of us, hours. That's one take. It would take hours. I could shoot this in 4 minutes, but it would take me 4 hours to upload. Now think about the whole magazine here. This is a couple hundred gigs, and yet that would take all day to upload all of these files. Look at the size of these, but look at what I'm doing right here. I am literally playing back a 36 gigabyte file, and I am playing it off of 10 megabit internet and I'm watching it remotely. And watch, I can click right at the end and it'll take me right to the end. I can click in the middle. It'll take me in the middle. I can click on a new take. This is real, folks. There's no buffering because there's no cloud. There's no cloud. So there's no buffer. Like I can click on an entirely new take. Look at this take, 24 gigabyte, 23 and a half gigs. I can start playing that back, skip to the middle. And now I'm in the middle of a 20 gig take, right? Do you get it? Like this is so different. It's so different. What's this take? This take is 29 gigs. And now we're playing it back and I'm skipping across hundreds of gigabytes, ProRes XQ, and I'm doing this on 10 megabit internet. So there's no upload, there's no storage. To store all of this media in a cloud would cost you $50 a month. But in your hard drive, it costs 50 cents. And that's so different. And so we're leveraging all that technology. I hope you're getting this because it's nuts. ProRes over 10 megabits per second should be impossible. And I can do this over an ocean and it works. Okay. So going back to what Oliver said, I wanted to demonstrate what we're doing now, Oliver, is we're playing back files. But here's where we're going. Where we're going, and this is very soon, and this is why you all need to sign up. We are so close to delivering this, and we are looking for early adopters to help us test it. What I'm going to show you now is the designs for invites and downloading. So Oliver's asking, how do I get a download link so I can share a file? That's what I'm going to show now. So if you look here, it says Kira's connections. Hopefully you can see this. This is Kira's MacBook Pro, and she's sharing on her agent several different files, but she only wants to share the socials media. That's all she wants to share. So how does she do that? Well, she clicks right here. She says invite, and now she's able to type in the names of the people she wants to invite. So Oliver, you can select people that are specific recipients of the share link that you want to share. Now, again, this is coming off of a hard drive, and she's decided that. Now, you see right here, it says view. You, just like a Google Drive, you can decide if you want to view the files or let people download them. Kind of like a Google Doc, you can have edit access or view only access. Strata works the same way. So you can control, can they just see the assets or can they download them too? You get to decide, and you can do that with all the people, all the individuals that you invite to the file. So we can see here, Austin is one of the people that's received access to the file. So I'm going to switch to Austin's computer. And when I switch to Austin's computer, it shows here shared with me, Kira's MacBook Pro. What's cool about this is we can see that it came from Kira's MacBook Pro. So imagine shared with me, imagine a whole bunch of other computers right here where many computers will have files shared with you. Because the vision is that everyone has agents. If everyone has agents, you're sharing media across to each other, but none of the media has to be in one place. That's super powerful if you think about it, because everybody generates new assets. Everybody on a creative team makes a new asset. And today, how do you share that asset? You have to upload it to a cloud. You can still do that and pay for that, or you can just share it from your hard drive that you rendered it to, and it's instantly available. And you can have a dozen people doing that and sharing to each other. And it doesn't matter where it lives, right? Who cares where the files are? Because you have them in folders in Strata. And if they're coming off 5 different computers, that's fine. If you wanted to move them to one NAS, like a Synology or a Jellyfish, you could do that too. It's very flexible. Okay, so now that Kira has shared with Austin socials, now Austin could click on socials. He can see the assets. So Kira only gave him one directory access. Now, if she gives him permission to download, Austin can download the contents, and now he can localize those files. So for people that are asking, how do you move the files? This is a peer-to-peer download. This is really powerful because peer-to-peer downloading means you do not have to upload it to a cloud first. You do not have to buy or pay for a cloud transfer service. Strata is effectively eliminating the need for a transfer service because you can just push the files automatically and pull them from computer to computer. The bandwidth is going to be the limitation, but that would be a limitation in a cloud transfer service anyway. Somebody's going to have to upload it. Someone's going to have to download it. Here in Strata, it all happens at once. But here's the best part. 99% of file transfers are initiated by the sender. See, you have to email the sender or call the sender and say, I need this file. Then the sender has to get that file, upload it to a transfer service, send you a link, and then you have to wait for that link to come to download. That means a transfer is initiated by the sender. But with Strata, if you have access to the directory, the transfer is initiated by the receiver. So if you have access to the NAS or the SAM or somebody's shared folder, you just pull down whatever you want. You don't need to wait. You don't need to get permission. You don't need to log in. You don't need to ask for them to send it. Just get it. So that removes communication time. It removes uploading time. It removes just extra wasted time. So it's really powerful. Sabello, I hope I'm saying that right. Sabello Mitzi says, can you talk about Strata features you had previously when it was still a cloud workflow? This is one feature I would love to see as I work on long form dramas. Are you guys going to reuse Strata stacks for timecode sync with agents? Okay, so Sabello is asking about our other product. So I'm going to switch to that. Sabello, if you are a cloud user, a Strata cloud user, those you can see here on the left, this is my Strata agent. I can switch to my workspaces. All of these on the left are different workspaces, and I can switch to my workspace. My workspace allows me to load in files and transcribe, analyze, and sync and stack. So here you can see multicam files. Here you can see they are synced, A camera, B camera, and audio. They're all synced together, and they play back at the same time, and I can log in and see all my multicam assets, and Strata will assemble those all together. Let me refresh. There we go. So here's my files playing back, and if I skip to the end, my files will still play back in sync. Skip to the middle, and they're playing back in sync. So I can play back multicam in Strata Cloud. I can analyze in Strata Cloud. I can transcribe in Strata Cloud. I can do 100 languages in Strata Cloud. I can analyze.
Michael, he's asking about those capabilities on agents and
right.
when.
I understand.
Agent. Okay.
I understand. So these are some of the features that Sabello is asking about. Like, where are these features? This product is a cloud product because we need the cloud to help us do all the facial recognition, all the transcription, all the analytics. All of this is cloud-based technology. For some people that want that and have files in the cloud, this is available today. So you can use this product today. But Sabello, what we learned is that everyone wants to analyze files on hard drives. And since they want to analyze on hard drives, they don't want to upload all the files to the cloud. So we've learned that the value is bringing these features that you're seeing here to Strata agents. Now, to do that, we have to start with a whole new technology stack that allows you to play back these files here remotely. So you have this whole new technology, but all those features have to be moved over to Strata agents one by one. That's going to take a while because we can't use the cloud to do the processing. So there's good news and bad news. The good news is that when we add these features to Strata agents, we will, it will be very, very inexpensive because your computer is doing the analytics. Your computer's doing the transcoding, the transcribing, the analytics, the facial rec, and the syncing. So that's good. It's going to be cheap. The bad news is it's going to take time because we have to move those technologies to Strata agents. So it's not going to happen in 6 months. So that's why Strata agents starts with the core plan, which is media access anywhere. We want you to access your files no matter what, and we don't want you to need a cloud in order to access them. So that's what's happening with this. So if you're a Strata Cloud customer, you can use that and you can switch between Strata Cloud and agents just with that button. Again, here I am. Now I'm in Strata Cloud and I can see all my projects, and now I'm in Strata agents. But most people are just going to start with Strata agents, and we're going to move the Strata Cloud functionality over to agents. So signing up today gets you into agents, And it's a great way to start. And then just become a user and tell us what features you want the most. And it seems like Sabello, you really want stacks, time code. I think that's good. That's what we want to hear. And we can work on things like that as we move later into 2025. Woken Site on YouTube says, when it comes to sharing and downloading, does the Strata agent boost downloads or upload speeds in any way? Okay, so Woken Site, it's not that we boost speeds in any way. When we're doing transfers, so if we look at that graphic here, when we're doing these transfers, you don't have to upload them to a central transfer service first. See, if you are moving a file through a traditional tool like WeTransfer or Aspera or Signient, you have to upload those files to those systems first, the whole file, right? So you need to move 100% of the file to that, and then a link gets sent to a recipient, and then they can pull down the whole file. With Strata agents, the recipient just pulls it straight through. So they get the file in chunks as they pull it down. So this should be net faster because you don't have to upload the entire file to a third-party service first. So this should be faster. It's certainly less friction because you don't need to go through an extra service. You don't need to pay for a subscription. You don't have to wait for a link to show up. You can get the files. Plus, here's a really big point, Woken Site. You can see the files. Like you can actually see them. Normally, when you're going through a file transfer service, you can't see the files that are being transferred until the transfer happens. But Strata, you can browse the entire drive and just say, give me these 5 files. So it's way better because you can look at every file that's an option and then just pull down the ones you want in the order you want. So if you said, I need this file right now, and I can wait for these 2 files, do the first file first and get the second one second and third, right? You can control that. You can't control that with WireDrive and Media Shuttle. And you can't really control that with Signient and things like that. So it's very different. Okay, Erwick says, I use Strata agents for the first time. It looks fantastic. PNGs don't work yet, but baby steps. Yeah, so today we do not support stills yet. But Erwick, if you become a user and you join our Discord, which I want to show you all, you should join our Discord. We could skip to that, Pete. We have a Discord server. So Pete can put in the chat an invitation to the Discord. If you sign up for the app, if you're not signed up for the app, joining the Discord is not that valuable. But if you sign up for the app, you can join the Discord. There's a link for you. And when you have that, now you can give us your feature requests. So Eric, I expect you to go on Discord and say, I need JPEGs and PNG files so that I can share stills. And that's really important to us. We need to hear that from users so we can prioritize that need. So really good suggestion. Woken Site says, I assume the initial features from the Strata workspaces will be available to Strata agent and local files in the future. I think I touched on that, Woken Site. But yes, eventually we will move Strata cloud functionality to Strata agents. But today agents is about playback, and then we're adding the sharing and we're adding the sharing and the downloading, the invites and the downloading. And so here's the good news. For dates, our goal to deliver invites and sharing, our goal is June 5th. June 5th. So that's not that far away. It might come a little sooner. In fact, wink, wink, if you're on our Discord, we might be asking for some people to be early testers of invites and downloading. We want some feedback before June 5th. But we are hoping to deliver this publicly June 5th. So that's only about 1 month away, 4.5 weeks, 5 weeks. So that is really exciting that invites and downloading are really, really close. That's why we want you to try the product, learn the product, use the product, get creative, give us the feedback, and then invites and downloading is like really, really close. We're working right outside that door right now, literally right outside that door. We're working on it right now. James Barker says, the playback is crazy. The playback's great. What's the playback right off the mag? Oh, I'll show you that. So here's the thing. If I go to the mag, here is the mag. And just to show that this is live and real, you can see that the mag started blinking. I don't know if you saw that, James. But if I slide, crud. That's not what I wanted to do. If I slide this over, you can see the mag right there. And if I start going through the mag, you can see I'm actually playing back this file off the mag. So these are not great dailies. I apologize. These dailies are not super compelling, but I'm literally playing this file off the magazine. Well, now you can see here, I can't play R3D files. Strata does not debayer raw files, so you have to be working with files that are debayered. So this is a helium camera, and the helium is able to shoot a ProRes proxy file, and so that's what we're actually playing back is this ProRes proxy file. So that's what we're creating here. So that's the answer to that question. Oliver on LinkedIn says, will files be cached locally? What happens when the share stops? Will the cache files be deleted from the system? So we don't really cache anything. We don't cache anything. So we're only streaming to you the frame as you see it. So there is no local cache that is automatically happening. The files get sent to you, and then you're watching it, and that's it. And then they go away because it's really not there. We're only projecting the frames to you. We're not streaming the file to you. You don't really get a file. Think of it like a Zoom call. If you're watching this on Zoom or LinkedIn right now, this doesn't have, I think LinkedIn is recording this file. That's different. They're recording that file. So when this is done, you can watch it later. But when you're on a Zoom call, there's no recording, like a telephone call. There's no recording. So once the files are done, they're gone. So there's no cache. Now, Oliver, we will be adding an option for cache because if people want to edit these files, they can choose to have them cached. Then you can use Strata as a replacement for LucidLink or Shade or Suite Studios. And this will be much, 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 much cheaper because there's no cloud storage. And so you can just cache the files locally from one hard drive to the next peer-to-peer. So that's really cool that we're doing that. Hugh on Zoom says, can we work through the NLE directly off media to remote and edit on the directly off media remote to the edit machine? I'll read that one more time. Can we work through an NLE directly off media remote to the edit machine? So that's what I'm talking about, where hopefully by late summer, you'll be able to download the media and work remotely. But we're also looking at building a soft mounted Strata. So it'll just show up in your Finder and you could just pull the files that way. So I'm an editor. I edit every day. I'm really excited about supporting the editing workflows with Strata agents and avoiding clouds. And so you have my commitment, Hugh. We're going to get it right. A Rose Productions on Instagram says, what about working with freelancers and only want them to have access to certain folders? 100% A Rose. I want to make sure you get this. What happens is you can have lots of directories here and you can share just one of them. So you could share just a folder if you want. You have access to everything that's yours, and then you can give people access just to a folder. And if you want it to be one file, just make a folder, put one file in it, and share one file. And they can't see the rest of the drive. They can only see the folder that was shared to them. So that's 100% how it would work. You just share one folder on your hard drive, and it's shared, and there's nothing else in it. The cool thing is, if you add files to that one folder, that folder's files will dynamically shift. So you could just make a directory that's like share with client, and you just put different files in there every day, and you never have to change the folder out. You share it once, and you just change what's in the folder. Isn't that cool? You don't have to make new review links every day. Just give them access to the folder, put whatever you want in it, and they can put whatever they want in it. And that's it. Think how simple that is. It's so simple. It's so cheap. It's so great. Okay, Hugh says, how soon can we access media search capabilities? So what we learned is that you're talking again, Hugh, about the Strata Cloud. What we learned with Strata Cloud is people just didn't find a tremendous amount of value in Strata Cloud in the searching. We say that Strata Cloud searching acted more like a vitamin than medicine. So people liked it because it was good and it was healthy and it was helpful, but they didn't use it every day. What we learned from users is what they want is access to their hard drives every hour of every day. They only needed to analyze things in Strata Cloud once in a while. And so we're listening to users, and that's why we're doing that. Now, someday we can hopefully add search back into Strata agents and things like that. But we've learned that this is what people want is Strata agents. And so that's what we're focusing our attention on. Woken Site says, so there's no need to generate proxies at all. So the answer is yes and no. If you have RGB files, like here's a bunch of files I could show you. Codec variants. So here, if you have files like MXF files, like FX3, FS7, right? Or AAC files, H.264, HEVC, ProRes files. All of those file formats are supported, so you don't need to make proxies for these types of files. But if it's a raw file, like on a camera card, we can't decode the raw file. So there's the actual raw file, and you can see Strata says unsupported file type. We do not support viewing R3Ds. So we can't debayer yet. We can't debayer yet. Someday we will debayer. Today, you have to give us an RGB format like one of these flavors, AAC, HEVC, H.264, files like that. Then you can play those files back. You don't need to make proxies of those files. So that's the answer to that question. Oliver says, does the Strata agent create proxy streaming files in real time? It kind of, it's not really generating a file. It's just showing the frame. So when I click on this image, it's just showing me the frames. So I'm not actually seeing a file. It looks like I'm looking at the file, but I'm not. I'm just seeing the frame, just like this zoom. This zoom, you're just seeing a picture of me. If you record this file, then you get a file. But the actual Zoom transmission here is not a file. It's just a stream. So Strata's working the same way. There doesn't have to be a file associated with it. Let's see here. Hugh says, could we clone and sync drives remote to each other with Strata to help enable an edit facility to support a remote edit? Hugh, that's a really good point. I like that. You should sign up for the product, join our Discord, and help us discuss that more. I want to learn more about the workflow you're describing and make sure I understand it and make sure that we can build towards that, because we intend this technology to be very powerful and very popular with editors. I think 33% of our users today are all editors that are using Strata agents. So that's a large portion. That's the largest portion of people are editors. So we want to make sure that we get syncing and those types of workflows working. So you just let us know. We need to learn more about it. Oliver says, is the system restricted to media files? Will production files like PDF, Word, Excel also work? So you can see, if you look here, there are files. I'll go to my desktop. You can see there are files here like a PNG and RTF. These are files that I don't have access to, but I could always download it. So Strata will always add new file support like PNG and RTF and JPEG and things like that. But even if we can't display it, you can always download it. So you can use Strata as the most inexpensive transfer service because you can browse a drive and pull files down and then use them and open them. So that will always be available. So Word documents, Excel documents, we probably won't support Excel or Word. That's really not what Strata's for. But you could grab a Word file and transfer it. And it's like having AirDrop across an ocean. That's pretty cool, right? You could AirDrop these files across the water. So that's pretty cool. Woken Site says, are uploads and downloads, whoops, I lost my place. Are uploads and downloads resumable or disrupted? It's going to start with not resumable, but I need to talk to Andre and our transfer team and see how that works. I honestly don't know yet what the transfer experience is going to be like. It's so new. You should sign up and be one of the first to test it. Woken Site, if you want to be an early adopter, we're looking for people to help test it and give us feedback. 100%. James Barker on Zoom says Strata is great for showing clients dailies immediately, even if it's the ProRes proxy. Yeah, you could play a ProRes proxy and you can share a directory out, and you can look at high quality. Here's a 4K daily playing back right there. And what's cool about this for the client is how fast they can click between assets. They can see them all. You can see all the dailies right here. You can click on them. I'm big on autoplay. I really love autoplay, and I'm big on 2x speed. So if you want to set this at 2x speed and do autoplay, you could do that, which is really cool. A Rose Productions on Instagram says, will freelancers need to be a Strata customer, or can they access a link without being a customer? Yes, you will be able to access the link without having to pay for anything. So Strata agents, let me go to that. So we're almost out of time. So let me go to that. Let's go here. This is tentative. I want to go over the pricing. The pricing here, this is important. How much does this cost, right? Haha. Okay. So today, this is the tentative pricing. Your individual tier is free. You install an agent. You can share those files. You can look at that. You can play them back. That's free. And the experience you have today, you can keep having probably for a long time, maybe forever. We don't intend to charge for the experience you have today. You can connect your clouds, you can connect drives, and you can play them back. We're not going to charge for that. So what you can do in Strata today will remain free. If you want to share a link, you need to pay $1 a day. $30 a month gets you the ability to create invitations. You can share files so that those files can be downloaded. But A Rose Productions, the person that receives the files does not need to pay. They just get a link and they can download. That's fine. The people who pay are the people that have an agent. So when you have an agent and you want to produce uploads, you want to actually invite people, that's when you pay, when you invite other people. So if you're a recipient of a link, they don't need to pay for the product. But if you are going to upload files back, then they need to install an agent. The agent is the only way to upload files back, and the invitation is the only way to get that file to somebody else. So if you have an agent and you want to share that media to other people, you have to pay $1 per day. And that's the feature. And then if you have a larger team, you can have larger batches of agents. So if you're like, okay, we're a team, we want 6 agents or 15 agents or 20 agents, then you can buy that in a package and you get all those agents installed, and you can always add more. But I'll show you another feature we're building that's really great. This is really cool. We are also building commenting so that you can comment on assets. This means you don't have to upload files to a cloud in order to get feedback. Isn't that great? You just share the file out. They can make comments right on the asset, and there's no delay for uploading whatsoever. So very, very powerful. The other thing we're adding is messaging. We've learned that small teams do not have an efficient way to message each other. So they come up with bad ways like email and WeChat and WhatsApp and GChat and things like that. What we're building is something we nickname Slack Lite. It's like a Slack experience or a Discord experience, but it's just for your team and you can have communication. But here's the best part. It's time code aware because it's in Strata. It's the same app. So you can paste links to files and it'll take you to the files and it understands where the time code is. And there's elements of search and things like that. So this is really powerful because you can integrate messaging and commenting and asset access all in one tool. And nobody has that. Nobody has messaging and commenting and access all in one tool. And the fact that this isn't cloud means the price is going to be so much less because we don't have to pay AWS to host it, right? So really, really good. So the vision for this, you look at this picture, this is the vision of Strata that's coming in this summer. This is why you should sign up today and get involved and get your team excited. Look at this. On the left, you can see all of the connections, including connections that are shared with you. Remember, you can have entire SANs shared with you. The entire SAN can be shared with you. And then you can see here are 2 folders shared, and then here's a drive shared. So you can have all of this access. This is insane access. It would cost $10,000 a month to have all the media in these directories in a cloud, maybe $100,000 a month, which some people pay. So this is powerful. Then you've got your playback, and then you've got your commenting all in one app. Access, view, and feedback all in one tool. Nobody's built that, and especially since there's no cloud. And then Nawaf from YouTube says, can you view from a mobile browser? Oh, Nawaf, we want to build that. Sign up, become a customer, and complain that you need it on your mobile device, because the people that tell us where the problems are, they're going to get the priorities. So really, we really want that. So we want you to sign up and tell us to build that mobile app. We really want to do that. Okay, so that is what we wanted to cover today. That was an amazing session. Thank you so much for all the feedback, all the great questions, all the interactions. We encourage you, sign up for Strata. It's free. Get on it. We are upgrading and releasing invites and downloading very soon. We need beta testers to help us get that right. We have all these editors that want to use Strata to help them edit remotely. We want to help you do that, but we need your feedback. I don't want to build this wrong because I didn't have a communication with you. I need to hear exactly your feedback. Discord is where you can come on a Discord, and you can see we're very active in our Discord here. We're constantly getting and giving feedback, and we want people's feedback so that we can get it right. We need you all to talk to us on Discord, so we're building this the right way. We are building our product in public. We are sharing everything that we're doing, and it only works if you're willing to talk to us and give us the feedback as well. And if we do that, we can build the best product possible. So thank you everyone for joining today across YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Zoom. That's hard to get all this working at once. Thanks for dealing with us on the hiccups. I hope to see everybody on Discord very soon. Have a great day. Bye.